how has it taken me 2 months to finally put this video together? Some travel blogger I am. So I went on my first ever solo cruise, and you might be watching this video because you're curious about celebrity or you're curious about the Caribbean. But my point of view is coming from somebody that went on their first solo cruise and my experience with it. But I will also discuss the ship with you, what I liked, what I didn't like, that kind of thing. I have been cruising for many, many years. My early 20s, my kids were raised on cruises, mostly I'm in the Vegas area, so mostly like the Mexican cruise. We did a bunch of those. We've done Miami. We did the Disney cruise. We did the Bahamas, that kind of thing. So nothing like European or anything. Now, I have done the Alaska cruise 4 times, and in 1 week from today that I'm making this video, I am taking my mom on the Alaska cruise. She's never been on a cruise and she's never been to Alaska. So, oh my gosh, this is going to be amazing. But I've been multiple times and I will record it and share with you my tips on Alaska as well. So, my first solo cruise I did because I'm divorced, empty nester, my kids grown, married, living in another state, all the things. And I was for a while traveling and I would pay for whoever was coming with me. But then I was finding that every time I did that, I was modifying my own needs and interests and behaviors for somebody else on top of the fact that I'm sponsoring the cruise or the trip or whatever it is. And sometimes I will still do that. I'm doing it with my mom this next time. But I realized that I don't always have to do that and that it might actually be good for my soul, my spirit, my energy to try going by myself and to actually doing things the way I would want to do them. I've been a mom forever. I was a wife forever, and everything was always modified to meet the kids' needs, wants, and desires, meet my husband's needs, wants, and desires. And, for the first time in my life, I'm like, gosh, I actually could do something that is just what I want to do. Imagine that. So the first thing I did is I took a trip to Santa Barbara, California, and I stayed for, I think, 3 or 4 nights, and I did State Street and the beach and bicycled around and really enjoyed myself. Now, I don't mind eating by myself. I don't mind doing activities by myself. I went on a whale watching tour by myself. The nighttime's tough. They're all coupled up, and it's weirder going to dinner. And, I wanted to go listen to music, but I didn't want to just stroll in somewhere. So that part I'm still trying to figure out. As a matter of fact, today I was just at the mall and I really didn't want to be there. It's kind of that kind of day, but there was music and I really wanted to be there for the music, and I wanted to sit down next to the music and order food and have a lemon drop martini and just enjoy the music. But it was 100 degrees outside and I'm by myself, and I was just like, nah, let's not try to force it today. So after I took that trip to Santa Barbara, it made me realize the potential that I had in my own traveling. And so I booked a cruise that had a workshop on it because I figured at least if I know I have somewhere to go, something to do, somewhere to be, I can plug into that. So I picked an Abraham Hicks workshop cruise. Abraham's a spiritual leader. I won't get into details, but it's like the power of positive thinking, manifestation, what you believe becomes, that kind of thing. And I knew I'd be on this ship with a whole bunch of really good energy people, and that has to help. So that's what I did, and I booked the Celebrity Ascent. Now, the ship was gorgeous, beautiful, gorgeous ship. I loved all the amenities. As a matter of fact, though, I didn't even make it back to the one club called Eden. I really wish I had gone in there. I didn't go to any shows because what happened was once I got involved in this workshop, I met a couple of girls that I really, really liked and spent a lot of good quality time with. And we'd end up at dinner and we would miss the show. We'd be at dinner 3 hours, 4 hours. It was so much fun. Just girl talk, all the things, and they're in the same workshop. So we believe in a lot of the same things, not necessarily the same things just in life in general, but just the being good, feeling good, attracting more good. That's just kind of how we are. Now, as far as the room goes, I booked my own room and I did single occupancy. And what happens on some ships have single rooms available that are smaller. that are designed for singletons. I have not explored all of those yet. This was just a regular room for 2 people, but they did give me like a single occupancy rate. Can't exactly remember how that worked out. It wasn't a whole lot cheaper. So, but it was so worth it. I don't want to have roommates. I loved having this big, beautiful room and the big bed. Now, as far as that drop down window goes, the infinity rooms, I would not do that again unless I was just in the most perfect temperature environment ever. Because when you drop those windows down, your room doesn't have temperature. It's temperature, I don't know how they say it. The air shuts off. And it was like immediately too hot. Like as soon as I'm standing on the balcony, it's in Florida, we're in the Florida waters, Caribbean, I couldn't do it. It was just so hot. And that really took away from my experience of having a balcony, and I didn't want to stand there with the window closed and look out. So for me, I wouldn't do that one again. It was fun to see what it was like the first time. That ship, the Edge class of celebrity ships, was everything. My room was all electric controlled. I could push daytime and the blinds would open and the lights would come on. If I push nighttime, everything goes off. If you push TV, it's somewhere in the middle. I had so much room. I didn't even use all the drawers and spaces, and I'm a big time packer. So wonderful, spacious, big, beautiful room that I got. It was just a regular room with a full balcony, whatever that was. It wasn't like concierge class or something like that. It was just a great room. Dining everywhere. So many restaurants to go to. So many. There were 4 dining rooms. We had 4 different dining rooms with 4 different themes. Like there's Greek, I don't even remember what they all were. But you could order off of the other dining rooms when you're in the one dining room, which was so nice. And then there's all kinds of upscale restaurants you can pay for. I didn't feel the need to do any of that. I was very happy with the dining rooms that I went into. There was a pizza place I never even went to and got pizza. Of course, you have your buffet open every day. There was like a little hamburger and fries spot. The spa was fantastic. I had multiple massages. The pool was great, overcrowded. Celebrity, I don't feel like is the best in the way of entertainment. And not once did I see a line dance or anything like that was outside of the pool. Everything was done in the pool. So if you wanted to play games, you had to get in the pool. That was bizarre to me. But I very much did enjoy the Caribbean steel band that was up there all the time playing, and just hanging around by the pool in a beautiful, warm Caribbean space was nice. There were 2 jacuzzis. They were okay. You had to hike a bit to get to those, at least the 2 that I found. I can't really tell you much about the entertainment because I didn't do much outside of that. The showroom was nice, very comfortable. Everything about this ship was comfortable. And like I said, just real upscale and really nice. As far as the stops go, I barely remember. I think, what did I say? This one was Western Caribbean. I'm doing the other Caribbean in November, so I get the 2 mixed up. But they were okay. I mean, the one stop I went to was just super touristy, and it was like a tourist island only. I didn't do any excursions. I got a massage there. I really wasn't after that. I just wanted to test myself. Can I go travel for the first time alone? Can I have a good time? I did have one night where I nearly had a breakdown, where the girls I was having dinner with had other plans and things got a little messed up that night. I wound up just going up to the buffet, hiding in a corner by myself, shedding a few tears, having a martini. And then I get a text, hey, you want to meet us at the club? And everything was back on again. So the being alone part, I'm not going to lie, it is hard. And not being able to nudge somebody and go, look at that, oh, there's a whale, or this happened, or that happened. It is hard. But I got to go to sleep when I want, wake up when I want, eat when I want. I loved that. I loved every minute of being in the flow and just doing what I want and sitting where I want, and that was really nice. I will do this again. Like I said, I've already booked one for the end of the year. It's a Gen X cruise, so I figure I can't go wrong with that. That one will be more of a party cruise. Everybody's going to be, a bunch of people my age and strolling down memory lane and dancing to 80s music or whatever. I can't wait. I'm super excited. So there's just this is a short version of maybe what I would tell you all about the ship, but I don't think I'm really making this video for that purpose as much as I am just wanting to say, hey, if you're thinking you want to travel by yourself, do it.